what it was. Y'all already know who it is. And y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge of Self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight. And before we even get started, I want to apologize because I know I'm a couple of days late. But the thing is, they've been installing the fiber optic cable outside in front of my house. They've been jackhammering the sidewalk and doing all kinds of shit that makes all kinds of racket. And I've been in this bitch just frustrated, man, because I ain't been able to get here with y'all. And even when it comes to doing my readings, I really haven't been able to do those either because everything I do is predicated on quality of sound. And then on top of that, my son been sick. And even though it ain't that, he been having some kind of stomach virus where he was throwing up for a whole day. I mean, nastily. And I didn't even know what to do with him because I was scared of catching that shit. And I can't even lie to you. Even when I have tried to sit down and get some work done, I haven't been able to accomplish much for some reason. I'll get distracted or I'll have some type of technical difficulty go on with one of my devices that just stops progress. So I've been kind of like, And I usually don't let things fuck with me. So I had to sit back and be like, man, let me look at my transits. And let me also say that that's not something that I do a lot, no matter if I'm an astrologer or not. Because the fact is, I'm always preaching to y'all. Just because you build like that, you don't have to build like that. So I try not to let that affect me. I try to stay calm, cool, and collected at all times. And also keep it play at all times in the process also, Always remember that. And so I went and checked it out. And lo and behold, this Virgo Sun, it just happens to be directly opposite my Pisces moon in my 5th house. And that'll directly affect my sense of creativity. That'll directly affect my sun. Hey, there's a lot going on with that. My sun is a Pisces rising too. And his is at 8 degrees. So it's opposite his rising sign. And then, here's something else. This Neptune retrograde, it's at 22 degrees of Pisces. Well, my Jupiter in my natal chart is at 22 degrees of Pisces in my 6th house of work. So, now I know what's up. But we gonna work right through this shit because, I'm the one. I ain't gonna let it affect me. So we here, and, the show must go on. And all that's kind of relevant to what we're going to talk about today. This lack of or this direct little stall on being able to get to this Pisces energy and, working hard. All of that's relevant because this right here, this a little something about those people that have Saturn and Pisces in their natal chart. And see, before we even go there, if you don't know my style, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tell you a little bit about Saturn. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of the energy that comes along with it and how it might affect you. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what the sign of Pisces is all about. And then we're going to bring it to a culmination. And fortunately for you, you're looking at one of the coldest closers in the game. So without wasting any more of anyone else's time, let's get this thing cracking. So Saturn, Daddy Saturn. Well, if you didn't know by now, Saturn is a motherfucking resident disciplinarian and taskmaster of the zodiac. And anytime you're fooling with Saturn, it ain't gonna make shit easy at all. As a matter of fact, being the ruler of the sign of Capricorn in the 10th house of the astrological chart, Saturn is gonna want you to put the work in and take the necessary steps if you ever want to see tangible results. And it's kind of like that priceless message of Jesus Christ himself. If Jupiter is gonna bless you for a day by feeding you a fish, then Saturn is going to put you through some shit that teaches you to fish. And you'll never be hungry again. I don't think y'all hear me though. And I ain't even religious. But it's like this. When I was a child and I thought like a child and I conducted myself like a child and I did childish things, I was afraid of Saturn. Oh, hard work, hardship, rough times. Oh, I ain't trying to hear that. But as I become a man, as I've matured, as I become into my spirituality, which my Saturn is in Sagittarius in my 2nd house. So this is directly affecting my spirituality and my money. So, as I come into my spirituality and I've matured emotionally through time. And once I've got past that Saturn return that I had a few years ago, and thank God I'm well past that, I've learned a lot of lessons. And look where I'm at here with y'all, and I'm prospering. But it just takes time, man. It takes time. Hey, y'all youngsters these days, y'all be talking about pressure. Nah, man, you ain't pressure. Saturn is pressure. And see, pressure will do two things. Pressure will bust your pipe, or it'll make a diamond out of you. What you do with it is what you do with it, man. And Saturn also rules the sign of Aquarius in the 11th house to a lesser degree, and co-rule with Uranus. But that speaks of, it's not all just about discipline and hard work, because it also means you can want to rule the world too. Saturn rules over time and all of that's usefulness and limitations. And when you tie humanity into that, that means it also rules over age and old age and all the lessons that come from that. And wherever Saturn shows up in our chart, it's going to show where we feel the most restricted and where we see obligations and fears and where we might be holding ourselves back, or where the universe might be holding us back a little bit so we can catch up on some karma. For real though, man. And when we're talking about the house, the sign placement of Saturn, let's talk about this first. This is going to show the type of energy that's connected with our feelings of obligations and our feelings of restriction. And the thing is, it's also going to speak of the type of energy that we're going to have to work a little bit harder to be able to access. But once we get there, we're boldly empowered in it, and it ain't going nowhere. Saturn sticks. That's what I mean by you'll never be hungry again. Saturn sticks. You feel me? And when we're talking about the house placement now, this is going to show areas of life that we feel restricted in, where we're going to have to work harder in to obtain the things that are coming to us. But once we get it, we got it. Hey, and that came from Rodney. I just had to say that because it rhymed. I'm chill. I'm stop playing. Anyway, man. But when we're talking about the aspects now, this is going to show other areas of our life that are directly connected with our feelings of responsibility. And lastly, let me say that every 28 to 32 years, Saturn traverses the whole zodiac and comes back to the place it was at the moment of your birth. And it's at that time that it signifies that Saturn return. And that signifies the beginning and ending of some karmic cycles. And it's during those Saturn return that you're probably going to see some tumultuous experiences. Some things in your life are definitely going to change for real. And it might even mean that some stuff is going to ease up on you. But most of the time, it's going to be some tumultuous experiences. But that's because he's trying to make a diamond out of you. And I speak on that all the time, but I want to speak on this to people that have this placement that we're speaking on today. People that have Saturn in Pisces, because it's extremely relevant, because you have a Saturn return coming up in the next year or two. So you better buckle up. It's coming. It's coming. And your life is about to change. And you're about to get a real close-up view of some spiritual things. And Pisces, man, it's self-sacrificial. It takes a lot. It takes on other people's problems. So get ready for your life to change, man. Get ready for your life to change. Buckle up. Now, when we're talking about the sign of Pisces, this is the 12th sign of the zodiac. It rules over the 12th house. Its symbol is the two fishes. It's co-ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. And it rules over the feet and the liver. Its mantra is, I believe, and what we have here, man. This is mutable water, y'all. And wherever Pisces is involved, you have to remember that being the 12th and final sign of the zodiac, man, it can embody the characteristics of any of the 11 signs that came before it, man. And it can take on the problems of all of them, too. That's something to think about, man. And Pisces energy, though, it kind of likes to keep that on the hush, because this is selfless energy. This is spiritual energy, and it's really much more focused on the inner journey. This energy right here, it's all about what we're feeling internally, as well as taking on the feelings of other people too, and knowing what's coming on ahead, because intuition and empathy are highly involved at the Pisces sign. This is the sign of dreams and fantasies in the spiritual realm. And being symbolized by the fish, it can be quite slippery. But the main thing to remember is that wherever Pisces shows up in your chart, that's where you have a main line to the divine. And so in this case, we talk about putting Saturn in Pisces. Okay? And that says a lot. That says a lot, man. And the thing to remember with this one straight off the rip is that this is actually as complex as it gets, because here you have individuals who have both a deep need for and a deep-seated fear of isolation. And they're kind of prompted to get involved with society, both from that fear and its origin, which is really a lack of faith in life altogether. Which that right there in itself, it comes from the fact that negative experiences from their past be having way too much control and influence over the way that they think about shit right now. And with Saturn, this is just going to take time and effort for them to ever want to forgive and forget and start to develop hope again. Shit. Hey, sometimes I've even seen that some of these motherfuckers right here be feeling like the whole world's against them sometimes, man. So they get to a point where they love everybody, but they don't fuck with nobody. So again, with this, it's just going to take time and some emotional maturation for them to ever get past the bullshit and crash that pity party so they can actually embrace that divine part of themselves that's there. It's there. And another thing, man, Pisces Saturn people, they feel everything, man. I mean, everything. But that's frustrating as hell too, because they don't ever feel like they're able to adequately express that shit in words, especially. So, it's kind of like all that pain and all that frustration that's added up to this complex that they built up, where they have this tendency to always see the negative first in a situation. But it's also that same shit that gets acclimated that kind of pushes them towards some type of spiritual or religious conquest in life, man. And I'm telling you now, we're talking about Saturn and Pisces. So nobody, and I mean nobody, is more serious about their spirituality. Best believe. And that's actually a good thing too. Okay, because this is a life that's meant to be spent learning how to let go and stop blaming everybody, self included, for shit that's kind of went down in this life. Nah, this is about living in the present moment and making a choice to be happy, because make no bones about it. Happiness is a choice. It's absolutely a choice, man. And if this is your placement, you need to trust yourself, because you are everything. And I mean that. Everything. Because you can't forget that Pisces has a little bit of all the other signs. So Saturn here, it could definitely be saying that it's going to take a lot of bullshit to realize that you are everything. Everything. But once you do, you are. And forever. I mean, forever immortalized. Think about it like that. But more than anything else, this is also kind of letting you know that you need to get over the bullshit and realize that you're a true healer. That's what you're here for. And there's going to be some kind of extra shit that goes on in life that's going to, directly cause you to start accessing that sense of compassion that you have. Because it's in there. You feel me? It's in there. And with this placement, man, with this one right here, man, you've been given a lot of things. You've been given a lot of things. Pain too. But it's all for the reason of giving it back and turning it into something that can really help everybody. But even that's going to have its limits too. Realize, because, hey, you got to realize that sometimes you got to take some time for you and recharge. Everything has to have its limits. Because once again, if we're looking at Pisces right here, we can look at it from the aspect that this can refer to everything. So you need to realize that everything has its limits. And you're going to be shown that in life. And when it comes to love, man, these folks right here, they pretty much face the same issues of doubts and difficulties because of that tendency to live in the past and not want to face those insecurities. So again, it's just going to take time and them working through their own shit emotionally. But either way it goes, they're going to need somebody who's going to love them for them. And they're going to need somebody that's going to love them deeply, but also, hey, have their feet firmly planted in the ground and really kind of help them buoy themselves up when they go into that depressive state. Because this is one of the worst depressive states that you'll ever see with Saturn and Pisces, man. And in this one, it can lead to drugs or some of the worst things you can imagine. I don't even want to speak on some of them. Because I know there's some that, they think about doing the worst. And if you ever get to a point in your life where you're low and you feel like you don't have nobody to talk to, hey man, I promise you can always come talk to me. Once you've seen this, you are not alone in your life. You can talk that shit. No, nobody fuck with me. No, I fuck with you. You can hit me up in these comments and I promise you I'll see it quick. And even if I don't respond to this, you can go join my Facebook group, Priceless Knowledge of Self. And I monitor everything that goes on with that. And hell, through that, you'll be able to send me a friend request and directly access my DMs and holler at me anytime you want to, man. Because it's like that. But don't come at me with no bullshit. Don't come at me trying to use this as an avenue to try to get at me or, do any of that extra shit, man. Because I'm talking about if you are going through a depressive state or you're going through something in life or you need somebody to talk to, you got somebody solid right here. Best believe. I'm the one. I'm a rider, cuz. For real. And I've been through things that you can't imagine. You have to realize that. I've been through just about everything. I'd have been to prison. I'd have been a drug dealer. I'd have been a drug addict. I'd have been a pimp. I'd have walked around and been a hoe. I'd have had it all. I'd have had good family experiences. I'd have found my mama dead when I was 13 years old. I done had a daddy that was a dope fiend and sexually inappropriate, just to say the least. I've seen it all. But look where I'm at. So, if I can be here talking to you, all you got to do is find an avenue and you can talk to me and we can work through it together. Okay? With people with Saturn and Pisces, let's get back to them. These people right here, man, they need somebody solid who can bring them back to the surface when they're, taking on all the world's bullshit with that ultimate empathy of theirs. Hey, that's what it's called, man. They have an ultimate empathy, man. And that was almost hard to get out, but I mean that, man. They need somebody right here that's going to help them realize that they can create happiness with their own hands. Yeah, you can. And to sum this up, man, I'm sorry, y'all. The main thing that people with this placement need to remember is they need to learn how to take a break from time to time because, you've got to learn how to relax a little bit. You have to, man. Y'all have pinpoint intuition, but it's going to take a lot to get to it. And in this case, it's going to mean chilling and taking a step back, which is not necessarily something you're good at if you have this placement. I know this. And I also know that y'all are awesomely creative, but y'all doubt yourselves or y'all feel guilty about, nurturing that part of your nature or whatever the reason is for that, man. You got to cut that out, man, but it's just going to take time. And I understand that. Time and self-care. And even if it don't build up like that, even if it don't play out like that, even if you don't believe a word I just said, it's all right. Because just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. And what I mean is we all have all this energy available to us. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And this is some priceless knowledge of self. You feel me? Hey, this is the time where you should be hitting this like button, okay? Because I know I went in. And if y'all are interested in any astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Okay? And the sale that I was offering before, it's over with. I'm back to normal prices, man. Which isn't much more than that, okay? Well, holler at me. Send me an email and I'll talk to you about it. And before we go, today's episode was brought to you by Moon Rocks. I know that don't look like much. I know it don't. But that's a $95 piece of cannabis right there. That little bitty thigh out right there. But it's called Moon Rocks because that'll blow your wig back. And that's sativa, so it'll get you, you know what I'm saying? That'll get you right. Okay? And let me show you something else. Because all y'all be talking about y'all be on that pressure. Y'all don't be on that pressure. Y'all be talking about y'all smoking purple. Y'all ain't smoking purple. That's purple, man. That's purple for real. That's frosty deliciousness. Yeah. And so you can find all that legally off of 9th Street, downtown Denver, at the Herbs for You dispensary. If you ever find yourself in downtown Denver, slide on into that Herbs for You dispensary and tell them Rodrigo sent you. You might just get That hookup. All right, y'all. I appreciate everything, man. Y'all keep it real till next time. And always remember to keep it play at all times.